And joining us now for more on all this, former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. Mr. Speaker, good to see you. Great to have you back.
Thanks to have me. And you know, there's one thing you didn't list that still gets paid in a government shutdown: Congress. So all those Democrats that shut down Congress, that SNAP doesn't get paid, the members of Congress will still get paid.
Congress, the Senate. Trump donates his salary to charity.
Trump never takes his salary. Even when government's open, he doesn't take his salary. He donates that away to charity. He shows by example.
Let me ask you about a couple of these. So, I didn't realize that 42 million people were on food stamps. Does that seem maybe a little high to you, 16% of the adult population in this country?
It does seem high. And what you would want to do when you see this number, how can we help these people get off food stamps? How do we help them get a job? And you know, it's what we did with welfare reform when we did the debt ceiling. We put work requirements in for able-bodied adults with no dependents. So that only means if you have no children, we give you work requirements. And what we proved, and Republicans did this back in the 90s, at the end of the day, the Democrats would yell, we're going to hurt people. No, these people were financially better secured. They had a better job. They actually went back into the workforce. America was stronger. We should help and make that number so much lower.
Should we try to get these people, let's say the shutdown ends in a week or a month or in a year. When the shutdown ends, should we have everyone that's on food stamps reapply so we can vet some of these people?
Well, you really need accountability, and you brought up a very good point about whether you're American or not. Are you incentivizing people to come here illegally? Are you helping those that maybe can help themselves? They have no dependents at home, they're able-bodied. Let's give them the incentive and the training to get a better job, to be able to move forward. That's important. Look, I am for anybody that is down on their luck. Let's help them out. But let's not make it a generational. Let's help them improve and move forward. That's what accountability brings in, and that's what Democrats would always fight us. Because you could put in a Social Security check, you could put in work requirements, all these other elements that improve people's lives.
Okay, I want to ask you just about the duration of this shutdown. You were there for the last one, 2018, lasted 35 days. Does this one become the longest shutdown of all time?
Well, in reality, this is already the longest true shutdown, because the last one, only partial government was shut down because we already funded a number of appropriation bills. But I really call this shutdown the Seinfeld shutdown. It's a shutdown about nothing. And that's what makes it harder to get out of. What are the Democrats fighting for? It's simply Schumer does not have the political will because he's afraid of his base is so mad at him. The last time he voted for a continuing resolution that just keeps government open as is, that he's done 13 times, he wrote a book and he couldn't go on a book tour. So he's afraid of AOC, so he decided, I can't do it, so let's go. And people wonder, how long will this take? Well, I think when they get around November 6th, there'll be the longest shutdown. They can say, oh, okay, we did it. But even the government union now, the Democrat stronghold, told them, go back to work, vote for the continuing resolution.
All right, Mr. Speaker, I just want to ask you about this race. You know, I think this is getting way too much oxygen on cable, and I understand that you know, it is a very big story and it's going to have huge implications for the rest of the country. Here is New York mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani when he was asked about 9/11. Listen to what he had to say.
I want to speak to the memory of my aunt. Who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
Okay, so she didn't feel safe in a hijab after 9/11 in New York City. Look, people don't wear MAGA hats in New York City, Mr. Speaker, because they don't feel safe walking around. But we found out today that his aunt was in Tanzania at the time. She was never in New York City. So not only was he not talking about the victims 24 years after 9/11, but he was lying and making about himself and his family. And then there's a piece from a Connecticut newspaper today. Affluent New York City residents are already scanning Connecticut suburbs, according to many brokers, and here's why. And they basically blame Zohran Mamdani. Do you think this guy wins next Tuesday?
I do think he wins, and this is the big problem. The thing he should think about is, my understanding, she wasn't even his aunt, she's a cousin. And you could see that acting in what he's trying to act like he's crying. What about the 3,000 people who couldn't take the subway to go into work the next day because they lost their lives on 9/11?
Right,
Did he ever
great
think
point.
about bringing them up? I mean, where is this person focused? And he's going to give everything away for free? This is where the Democrat Party is turning. They're turning to the socialist wing. This is the excitement. So it tells you a couple different things. The current leadership of the Democrats are very weak. I think Hakeem and Schumer are probably the weakest leaders we've ever seen. They are from New York. They did nothing about this race. Cuomo was probably the worst other Democrat to put up. How many people did he kill? And then he got removed from, in COVID, then he got removed from governor. People didn't want to vote. Mandani, when he started, had 1%. It was kind of a vote against Cuomo, and now this person has risen up. The biggest winner in the next week election is going to be Florida, because more people are going to leave New York.
That's a good point. Maybe pick up another congressional district down there as well. It already happened. Kevin McCarthy, appreciate you being with us tonight. Good to see you. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.